Criterion overload today as a Portrait of a Lady on Fire releases on Blu-ray this week. Plus, they announced their new September lineup. All this and more in this week's edition of the Physical Media Report. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Mid-Level Media, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me on this Monday afternoon for the latest edition of the Physical Media Report. You guys know why we're here. We're here to run down all the latest and greatest news in the world of Blu-rays and 4Ks and all that fantastic stuff. But before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and go ahead and like this video. Just press that little like button down there and help this video out. Help this video reach more eyes and viewers. And go ahead and comment down below what you're interested in picking up this week, if anything. What news excites you in the Blu-ray and 4K world? Comment down below and just open up a conversation about the world of physical media, the thing that we all love. But let's go ahead and get into it, guys, because we got a lot of news topics to cover this week. So first off, we have Arrow Academy is releasing the classic foreign film Cinema Paradiso, and that is coming out on September the 21st. So I have never seen this film before. I know it's a classic Italian film. And yeah, I haven't checked this one out, but this might be something that I will be picking up come September to check it out for the first time. And it is an amazing release. It looks incredible. And also to be noted, this is a 4K. So this is one of those 4Ks that Arrow's doing. It looks to be with this and Pitch Black that they're looking to get more into the 4K game, so to speak. So I'm really excited about Cinema Paradiso, and that was one of the biggest announcements to come out this week. Next up, guys, we have Criterion, which announced their new September lineup, capped off by The Elephant Man, David Lynch's The Elephant Man, which is releasing on September the 29th. That is definitely the most notable release out of all of these, and I have not seen The Elephant Man as well. I'm looking forward to picking that up for sure. The cover looks amazing. The film has Anthony Hopkins in it, so it should be pretty great, right? I mean, I've never seen the film before, but I'm really looking forward to that release. We also got Naked City, which released on September the 8th. Brute Force, which released on September the 8th as well. Ambu Travail, which releases on September 15th. Christ Stopped at Ebola, which releases on September 22nd. And Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project. So I'm not exactly sure what this is. I think it's a lot of films that Martin Scorsese maybe produced or was inspired by. Maybe I need to look a little bit more into that. But that's pretty expensive. That's about $100 for that set. And that comes out on September the 29th. But also, Warner Archive announced their August lineup as well. So we have Michael, which is the film starring John Travolta. If you do not know, that releases on August the 11th. We have Without Love, which releases on August the 25th. $1 Million Mermaid, which releases on July the 28th. Girl Crazy, which releases on July the 28th. Pride and Prejudice, which releases on July the 28th as well. Pat and Mike, which is August 25th. Clara's Heart, which is on July the 28th. So a lot of those were in July. I know I said August, but it looks like they kind of made this announcement with July and August films lineup, so I apologize for that mistake. But yeah, that's everything coming out for the Warner Archive in the next couple of months. So a lot of good classic films. They do great work in those classic film restorations, and I'm really excited to possibly pick up a few of those. But we also have a new Warner Brothers DC film announced, animated film announced, and that is a Deathstroke film, and it's called Deathstroke Knights and Demons, and that comes out on August the 18th. So for those of you all who love and are passionate about those DC animated films, I'm not really into those myself, but I know a lot of people love them, so you could be looking forward to a new DC animated film come this August. So we also have Scoob, which was the newly released on VOD film, animated film. It's coming out on 4K and Blu-ray on July the 21st, so that is pretty soon. That is about less than a month away, and I know we just got that on VOD maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I didn't buy it for $20 on VOD. It was one that I thought about getting, but my kids weren't really interested, so I didn't get it. But yeah, I don't know if I'll buy it on 4K or Blu-ray, but let me know down below if you plan on getting it. But another exciting announcement, guys, and this is exciting because this movie is extremely rare on DVD and just in the physical media format in general. And that is the Mel Gibson film Apocalypto. And that is getting a Blu-ray release, which I believe it is its first official Blu-ray release that I'm aware of. And that's coming out on July the 28th. So if you wanted to get Apocalypto in your Blu-ray collection, you should be able to get it on July the 28th. But, because it was in such high demand when it was on DVD, I would go ahead and pre-order that now if you haven't already, because it's possible that might be a film that it might sell out pretty quickly. So I would get on that as soon as possible. But the funny story, I used to have the DVD of that one, and I sold it on eBay for like $30. I found it in a Goodwill, and I ended up selling it for profit on eBay. But I should have held on to it, but I didn't. Yeah, guys, we also have Kino Lorber announced some exciting news. We have 2 Michael J. Fox films coming from them in October, I believe. And one of them is The Secret of My Success. And if you have not seen that movie, that is one of my absolute favorites outside of Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox films. I just love that movie. I've seen it so many times as a kid. And so I'm really excited to pick that up from Kino Lorber. So if Kino Lorber wanted to get me interested in their stuff, release Secret of My Success. That's how you do it. And I'm going to buy that for sure. The other one is The Hard Way, which I'm not as familiar with, but it's starring Michael J. Fox and James Wood. I don't think I've ever seen that movie. In fact, I know I've never seen it, but I'm not really familiar with that one. Let me know if you've seen that movie. Comment down below if it's any good. I might end up picking that one up as well. But we also have Deep Blue Sea 3, which I believe Deep Blue Sea Part 2 released a couple years ago, and it was straight to DVD Blu-ray. I didn't see that one. I have seen the original back in 1999, and I love the original. Deep Blue Sea 3, I don't know if I'm gonna see that one, but that releases on August the 25th on Blu-ray and DVD, I would imagine. But that's the news, guys. That is all the news from this week. If you have anything to say about the news, if you're excited about any of the things I just went over, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know which one you're interested in. And yeah, so let's move on, guys. We're going to get into the top 5 Blu-rays of this week. And as you know, now I do top 5 Blu-rays and 4Ks. I kind of group them together. And we do have both in this week's list. But number 1, guys, is very interesting. And it's not surprising given everything that's happened in the past couple of weeks. But Gone with the Wind is the highest selling Blu-ray right now. So that's pretty interesting, pretty cool, I guess. Gone with the Wind. I know a lot of people, I have my copy, and I've seen what it's going for on eBay. It's going for like $40, $50, somewhat $100 on Blu-ray on eBay. It's tempting. I picked mine up for about $7 a few years ago, but it's tempting to get on there and maybe sell mine for $50 to $100. But I'm not going to. I'm going to hold on to it because it's a classic film, and I want to keep it. I want to preserve it. And who knows if I'll ever be able to get it again. But Jaws 4K is number 2. So the Jaws 4K, which came out a couple of weeks ago, is now shooting up the leaderboard list for Blu-ray sellers after a couple of weeks. And we still have Star Wars Episode 9 hanging out in the top 5. It's number 3 this week on Blu-ray. So it dropped from number 1. It's been number 1 several weeks since I've started doing this. And 1917 on Blu-ray is number 4. And we also have the Harry Potter collection on Blu-ray at number 5. So the Harry Potter collection is another one that's been hanging in there. And I believe I saw it last week when I was in Target. And I think it's like $45 at Target right now. So I think it's because it's so cheap. And it probably just dropped in price. That's why a lot of people are getting on that release. But all right, guys, let's move into the main reason I know you guys check out this show every week, and that's the deals. You want to hear the deals. You want to see how you can save some money for your physical media Blu-ray 4K purchases. But the first deal we got is Good Boys, and that is on Blu-ray for $10. And I'm not sure. Most of these deals you could probably find on Amazon. And you could price match at Best Buy if they don't have it there and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's going for like Walmart and Target, those places. But whenever I cover the deals, mostly it's pulled from what it goes for on Amazon and stuff right now. We got Gladiator on 4K for $15. So I'm not going to grab the Steelbook for $25. I might just jump on this $15 deal for the 4K, but yeah, that's pretty cool. And I guess, maybe because it just came out and they know a lot of people are not buying the actual 4K release, so they're going to drop the price on it. We also have The Turning on Blu-ray and that is $14.99, which is, if you ask me, still way too high. It's a deal, I know. It's not. It's better than 20, but that movie is not worth $3 or $4. So definitely, still don't pick that one up. Wait on that one. But the movie that you should absolutely pick up for $14.99 is The Invisible Man, which is on deal this week as well for $14.99. We also have the Top Gun Blu-ray, which is regular at $10, and now it is $7.99 on Blu-ray. So definitely pick that one up. Midsummer on Blu-ray for $6.96. That is an amazing deal for that one. That one's usually like 15, 16 bucks. And yeah, if you have been holding off on Midsummer, or you just want to expand your A24 collection, definitely jump on that deal. That's a great deal. $7 for Midsummer on Blu-ray. Yeah, jump on that one. Hunter Killer Blu-ray is $4.99. So I didn't get that one. I haven't even seen it. So it's possible I might get that one. I mean, it's hard to resist a newer Blu-ray for $5, so I might just jump on that one. But we also have the Sonic Blu-ray for $18.39, so that's a pretty good deal. I think that one was going for about $22 a couple of weeks ago. So if you haven't bought Sonic yet, you might want to jump on that now. We also have Little Women for $11.93. So that's a great deal for Little Women on Blu-ray, so definitely jump on that. That movie is amazing. I would definitely recommend it. And we had the Elvis King Creole, which was a new release from the Paramount Presents line. And that is $16.99 right now. And I bought it for like $23. So, I might just I might need to be holding off on some of these releases if they're going to drop in price on this. But yeah, if you haven't grabbed that one and you want to expand your Paramount Presents collection, which is a line that I'm getting into collecting and I love, definitely check that one out and pick that one up. So that does it for the deals, guys. Let's move right in to the new releases this week. And I might as well be playing crickets right now after I say the new releases this week, because there is virtually nothing coming out this week, at least high profile stuff. There's a lot of boutique titles and stuff from boutique retailers and special edition, collection editions and stuff like that that's being released this week, but nothing new is going out in stores. As it was the case, I believe, last week as well. But there was more interesting stuff to cover last week. And not saying some of these films on this list aren't great, but there's just not that high-profile release that's coming out this week to get excited about. But the first one up, guys, that we have coming out this week is from Criterion, and that is Portrait of a Lady on Fire. And I watched this movie a few weeks ago on Hulu, and I thought it was amazing. This is honestly one of the best movies that was released last year. It's a French film. It is foreign language. It is subtitles, so know that going in. But yeah, I thought about grabbing this on Criterion since nothing really coming out this week, so I'm not sure if I'll get it yet. But it is a fantastic film for sure. I don't know if I can recommend that you guys pick up the Criterion because it is on Hulu right now, and if you want to watch it, that's a good way to watch it. It looks great on Hulu, so... but I imagine that Criterion will be doing some special features, so if you want to dive a little deeper into the film, you can grab it on there. But the next one up, guys, comes from Criterion Collection, and that is Tokyo Olympiad. And I imagine it's a Japanese foreign film. I don't know anything about the title, but it's a new Criterion, so if you're interested in that, check it out. We also have an Arrow Video Dream Demon coming out this week, and I know nothing about Dream Demon other than the cover on it looked pretty damn cool, so check that one out if you're interested. We also have two new Shout Factories releasing this week. We have The Spider, and we also have The Road to Wellville. So I don't know much about either of these titles, but they are coming out this week if you are interested as well. Kino Lorber actually has 3 new titles coming out this week. They have The Last Valley, they have Murder by Decree, and they have Caravan. So 3 more titles that I know nothing about, so I'm not really going to comment on them. But yeah, Kino Lorber killing it. And to be honest, like Kino Lorber is one of the most consistent as far as putting Blu-rays out. They always have stuff to talk about each week. And you can't say that about a lot of the other ones. So South Park, are there any South Park fans out there? I haven't watched South Park since the late 90s, so I don't know. I guess it's still relevant because we got season 23 coming out on Blu-ray this week. From South Park. So yeah, like I said, I don't know if anybody still watches South Park. I don't. I've heard that it's the funniest it's ever been. But yeah, I'm kind of over the whole South Park thing. I went through it in school, and yeah, I don't know. But Warner Archive has 3 titles releasing this week as well. We have Pennyworth Season 1. which is a show on the CW, I believe, and that's coming out on Blu-ray. We also have House of Wax 3D, which is the classic House of Wax film coming out. We also have Strike Up the Band coming out as well on Blu-ray. So those are three new releases from the At Warner Archive. So that is everything coming out this week, guys. It is, to be honest, it's a disappointing lineup outside of Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which is a great film that I recommend everybody checking out. There's just really not a lot of stuff this week. It's really dry. Next week is also pretty dry. Like things are starting to pick up, are going to start picking up a little bit in July. But yeah, we just got to get through the slow season right now because we're past the point of all the new theatrical releases releasing on Blu-ray. And yeah, there's just not a lot of stuff coming out. There's just not a lot of people putting stuff out and different things to talk about. So it's going to be dry for a couple of weeks. Hopefully it picks up in July, August, and we get some movies back in the theaters and to talk about. I know eventually all these VOD releases that are coming out, that have been coming out the past couple of weeks, they're going to be getting Blu-ray, 4K releases as well. So we can probably get into those at some point to talk about. But yeah, it's going to be slow for a little bit, so I might have to come up with some other topics and segments to include on this show. But if you all have any suggestions, anything you would want to add in the comments below that you would like me to do on this show, I'm open to anything, guys. Just let me know, because to be honest, I love physical media. I want to keep talking about it regardless of how slow it is. So just let me know if there's anything you want me to cover, anything you want me to do in the time being until things pick up. But again, guys, I'm going to ask, we're in the middle of this video, I'm going to ask that you guys please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We do a lot of great stuff on this channel. I do Blu-ray 4K unboxings. I do movie reviews. I actually got 2 reviews up over the weekend for The King of Staten Island and You Should Have Left, which is a new horror film from Blumhouse. You can check out both of those reviews now. If you look at my channel description, I will link both of those down below so you can check those out and show those a little bit of love. You know, I also do my weekly physical media report every Monday like I do right here. And I also have The Haunting of Mid-Level, which is my bi-weekly now horror show. I do it every 2 weeks, and I will be having a new Haunting of Mid-Level this Thursday that you can check out as well. And go ahead and like this video, guys, and comment down below. Just anything you feel like commenting, just give me a comment, give me a like, please, guys, please. I beg you. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to my weekly haul, guys. I'm going to show you what I picked up this week. So my prized possession and the best thing I picked up this week by far is my Colombian Classics collection. And yeah, it's just a fantastic collection. And I also did an unboxing of this recently on my channel. You can go back and check that one out. Show that one a little bit of love if you haven't already. But yeah, this is an amazing set. Just freaking fantastic. I can't wait to dig into those and do some reviews of those 4Ks on my channel as well. But another thing I picked up, and I also have an unboxing and review on my channel right now, that is the Pretty in Pink Paramount Presents collection one. And yeah, this is a pretty cool set. It's got some great special features. Really fun 80s flick. I definitely recommend it. So yeah, check out that on my channel. And another thing I did this week, I went ahead and I found a couple of Blu-rays at Walmart for only $5. So I picked up Rambo Part 2, First Blood Part 2, actually, because I haven't seen it. And I own First Blood and I own Last Blood. So I need to own First Blood Part 2. And it was only $5. So I almost grabbed Part 3 and Part 4 as well, but I might hold off on those until I watch this one. But Rambo First Blood Part 2. I also grabbed Soul Surfer. And that may seem a little weird that I grabbed that, but I'll be revealing more details of why I grabbed Soul Surfer in some videos to come. But just know there is a reason for it. And I also got to go to a Half Price Books, which I haven't been to my local Half Price Books since this entire quarantine pandemic mess started a few months ago. So this is the first time I got to go back there. You know, I wore the mask. They require masks in store. They require the social distancing, all that stuff. Made sure I wiped down everything when I got home with it. And yeah, but I actually found some really cool stuff. And most of the movies that I found all had slipcovers, so that was amazing. The first one I got, guys, is a 2017 action film, and that is Atomic Blonde. So this was okay. They tried to do John Wick with Charlize Theron, and I think she was great in the movie. It worked to varying degrees, but I don't think the story was there. And, some of the action sequences are great, but there just wasn't a great story to this. But I got this for only $6 in half price. So I love the cover on it. So I went ahead and grabbed it. All right, guys. Next up, I got this for only $2, and I don't own any of these films in my collection, so I went ahead and grabbed the first Hunger Games. Just because I like the movie. Okay, I haven't seen it in a while. I honestly haven't. I didn't even complete the 4 movie series, but the Hunger Games on Blu-ray, I figured I'd own it for only $2. But the next one I bought, guys, is a very underrated movie. This is starring and directed by Jason Bateman. It's kind of a dark comedy, and it's called Bad Words. This was only $4, and with the slipcover, that was pretty cool to get that one. And yeah, if y'all haven't checked out Bad Words and you're a fan of Jason Bateman's style of comedy, this one is definitely one of the best films that he's done in recent years. And he directed it, so I would show it some support. It's a really funny movie. Has some dark humor and stuff in it, but also kind of serious in parts as well. But another movie I got, guys, and I was kind of compelled to get this because of King of Staten Island that just came out and my love for Judd Apatow and his films. I got Trainwreck, and this was only $4 as well with the slipcover. So pretty cool find in half price. And yeah, I didn't like this movie that much. I don't want to say I didn't like it, but I thought it was just okay. It was overhyped when it came out. And I rewatched this past weekend. I actually really liked it a lot more than I remember. It was really funny. I was laughing throughout. John Cena and LeBron James are standouts in this movie, like even more than Amy Schumer and Bill Hader, but they're completely hilarious and have some of the funniest lines in the movie. But yeah, I really enjoyed this on the rewatch, and now I think a little bit higher of it than I did originally. So Trainwreck for $4 is good. And the other one I found, guys, for only $4 is Interview with a Vampire on Blu-ray, and that was a really cool find. Of course, it didn't have a slipcover, but that's fun. It's a classic movie. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Christian Slater. I'm interested in checking this one out again because I haven't seen it in years. But yeah, for $4, I was happy to add that one to the collection. But that does it for my weekly pickups, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the Q&A questions, and I got some really good ones this week. Some from some new people that's never asked a question on the show, so I'm excited to get to those. But the first one, guys, is Nateflix Reviews, who's a frequent contributor to this show. So I appreciate your questions, Nateflix, and definitely go check him out on Instagram. He asks, what is the absolute best deal you've gotten on a Blu-ray or 4K? So I've got a couple answers to this, and I might have a better one, but these are just right off the top of my head. And the first one is 2001 Space Odyssey, the 4K. I got this on Amazon for $15 earlier this year. So this whole set is amazing. Like, it even has like a big booklet in it and all that stuff. And for 15, I think this was almost $30, $35 when it came out originally. So to get it for 15 was an awesome deal. Just a fantastic deal. So yeah, I loved getting that one for 15. And the other one is Creepshow. I think this one's going for like $35 on the Shout Factory website right now. And I got this for $22 when I bought it, and it was fairly new when it came out. It was like a couple months after it released. They were running a deal, so I was really happy to get this one for that. And it has this really cool case and has a booklet. And yeah, this is just one of my favorite Scream Factories that I own. Great special features, great presentation. I just love the movie Creepshow. Also, it's a classic. Next question, it comes from Unboxing Movies. And he's on Instagram as well if you want to go check him out. And he asks, do you think Tenet is going to get released on Blu-ray before the end of 2020 or 2021? My short answer is yes. In fact, I'm not sure if it'll get released before the end of 2020, but I know it'll probably get released before the end of 2021. It'll come out in one way or the other. Either it's released in theaters or Nolan will have to buckle and release it on VOD if we're not through this by then. But yeah, I mean, I'm one of the ones who thinks that Tenet will actually release on July the 31st. At least I'm optimistic that it will. So if it comes out on July the 21st, depending on how it does, I think that's what we're all waiting on, to see how it does in the box office. And that's kind of going to be the benchmark for how movies are going to perform in theaters in this post-quarantine world that we're living in right now. So I think we're all interested in seeing how Tenet does in the theaters. So depending on how it does is going to be dependent on when the Blu-ray and 4K gets released. So if it releases on July 31st, the normal wait time is usually 3 months right now. So if it's 3 months, we could be seeing it on Blu-ray 4K by the end of October, early November. And if they go even longer than that, it might be December. But yeah, I think that there's a very good chance we could be seeing it on Blu-ray 4K. At least I hope so in 2020, but definitely in 2021 for sure, if not the beginning of it. But yeah, hope that answers your question, unboxing movies. And the next one comes from Magnus Mortensen, and he asked me, how big is your collection? Well, that's a great question. And if you want to know exactly how big the collection is, if you want to see it in its entirety, you can go ahead and click on the My Blu-ray Collection playlist on my channel, and that has all of my collection videos. I did my whole Arrow collection. I did my whole Scream Factory collection. I did a bunch of miscellaneous titles, A24 titles, Steelbooks, 4Ks, and then I did a near 2+ hour video where I basically did I showed off my entire Blu-ray collection. So that's a lot. That's almost about 3.5 hours worth of content if you want to check that out. But I'll go ahead and if you want to check that out. But off the top of my head, just going off of what I have in my collection, I just added a new shelf over here. So this one fits about 630 Blu-rays. So I'm going to say I have roughly around 700 Blu-ray and 4Ks in my collection and about 200 DVDs in my collection. So it might be around 750 when I go into my special editions and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely go check out those videos if you want to see it in its entirety. But yeah, that does it for the questions, guys. And I thank all of you all for submitting those questions. If you want to know how to submit a question, I usually put up a story on Sundays in my Instagram where I ask you all to submit a question for the show, and you all can submit it there. So that's how I have it set up right now. I eventually at some point want to go live with the show, and then I can take live questions on air. I think that would be really cool, but I'm not there yet. With my process and how I do things. But before I go, guys, I want to plug a few things. Like I said, I got a couple reviews out over the weekend for You Should Have Left and The King of Staten Island. I'll go ahead and link those down below. I also am doing, if you all do not know, I also do a twice weekly live show on the at Ultra HD Geek channel called Levels of Geek Live. So you guys can check us out every Monday and Wednesday night at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we go live and we discuss all the latest news topics in the world of movies and geek and nerd and just all that good stuff. And then we usually review movies. We do general chats just about, like, we did the greatest villains the other day. We did the greatest superhero movies. We do a lot of stuff. We review Blu-rays and 4Ks on there as well. And the most important thing that we do and the most awesome thing that we do is we engage with the chat. We make you all a part of the show. We talk to you all during the show. We take your comments. We take your questions. We do all that stuff. And yeah, it's just a really fun time, guys. Just if you love movies, if you love nerd stuff, just come hang out with the Levels of Geek crew. A bunch of like-minded individuals just hanging out, talking movies, talking TV, talking video games. We do everything on that show. So come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday night at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time for Levels of Geek Live. And yeah, just an awesome thing, guys. It's definitely one of my favorite things I'm doing right now. But yeah, so if you haven't already, guys, go ahead and subscribe to this channel for more great content. Like this video, comment down below anything that you're excited about in the world of Blu-ray and 4K, or if you're picking anything up this week, let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you guys watching today, and we'll see you next time.